Would you like to have baby guppies? Well, so do I. So I'd say sit back and relax while I try to turn this 110-liter aquarium into the ultimate guppy breeding tank. If you're already subscribed to this channel, you know that I've been trying to breed guppies in here for a few weeks already. And in this time I've already been blessed with 5 baby guppies. Unfortunately, I've made a few mistakes. I kept the babies in this breeding box for too long, causing a few of them to die. Although this is quite sad, it's not really that big of a problem. If you've ever owned guppies, you'll know that it's not that hard to get them to breed. And I'm sure I'll be greeted with more babies pretty soon. The real challenge is figuring out how you can stop the adults from trying to eat all the babies. A few days ago I tried releasing the remaining 2 babies and, well, the adults tried to eat them right away. The babies were swimming for their lives as the adults were chasing them through the tank. I immediately grabbed a net and got them out of there. I relocated the babies to the shrimp tank. Here they can roam around safely. But this video isn't about babies. Well, it is about baby guppies, it's just not about these baby guppies. It's about the babies that are still on their way. For now, this tank doesn't have anything special going on. The substrate is basic play sand, which doesn't hold any nutrients at all. The plants are still in their pots and some of them are really suffering from a lack of nutrients. Like this one. However, these plants hold the key to a successful breeding tank. Our biggest problem is that our babies are getting eaten by their parents. If you can create more hiding spaces, the babies will have a way higher chance to survive to adulthood. To create more hiding spaces, I want to build a tiny underwater forest. And I'm in luck. Most of the plants in here are so-called stem plants, which in general grow very rapidly and are extremely easy to propagate. And that's where this comes in. Aqua soil. In here are all the nutrients the plants will need. I've never used this aqua soil before, so I'm not really sure what the effects will be, but from what I read, this is a pretty good one. I'm not going to throw these in the tank like this. Instead, I'll be using these. These are little mesh bags with a plastic zipper on them. And well, we're gonna put the aqua soil in here and then place this underneath the sand. This way we'll get all the benefits of this aqua soil without the chance of it mixing with our play sand. So the first thing we're gonna do is fill up all these bags with aqua soil. With the bags filled up with aqua soil, there are just a few more things we need to prepare. I want to create a little island from where all the plants will grow. To create this island, I use some lava rocks which were rinsed off before use. And in order to make sure I have enough sand to work with, I rinsed off some more before getting started. Now it's time to redo this tank. I emptied the tank halfway to reduce the amount of water I'll spill. Next, I took out all of the plants and moved the driftwood and piece of moss to one corner so I could get started. I began by building up a wall of lava rocks, marking an area around 1/3 the size of the tank. Within this wall, I started placing the bags of aqua soil. However, these bags started to make the water very cloudy. I rinsed the remaining bags with water, but this just made it so much worse. At this point, I began to worry about the fish. My idea wasn't as quick as I initially thought, and messing with the scape for an extended period of time while the fish are still in there will definitely stress them out. And stress is really bad for a fish. So, for the well-being of the fish, I decided to scoop them out and keep them in a bucket while I redesigned their home. Okay, the fish are gone, so let's start from scratch. First, I emptied the tank completely to get rid of all the cloudy water. Next, I took apart the wall I had created remove the bags of aqua soil, and remove the sand from the bag. Next I began the rebuilding process, but this time I placed the bags of aqua soil first and built up the wall around them. This way the stones can rest on the bags, but it will also create a way tighter fit between them. To cover up the bags I'm gonna use play sand, but if I add it as is, the sand will definitely seep through all the cracks between the stones. To counter this problem I'm gonna use this, filter wool. I place patches of this between the cracks of the stones. This will stop any sand from seeping through. If any of the wool shows, don't worry, it'll turn a dark brown rather quickly. In a few places where the wool is very visible, I use Java moss to cover it up. Okay, it's starting to look really good and I would like to add the plants, but first we gotta prepare them. I did so by cutting them all into smaller pieces. These short stems will greatly reduce the amount of hiding space in the tank, but since I now have 3 times the amount of stems to plant, it will more than make up for it in the long run. And in this case, the long run is probably about a month. With all of the stems cut, I got to planting. Normally, I plant while the tank is full of water, but since I'm planting in sand and the plants are very short, I decided to try it while the tank is still empty. I definitely feel like this was the easiest way to go about it. I began by planting the Anacaris on the left side of the tank, and to be honest, this is the only plant I know the name of. All of the others were bought at an expo, and therefore I'm not really sure what they're called. If I make any mistakes in this video, please correct me in the comments. The next plant I'm adding is this one, which I think is some kind of Rotala species, but I couldn't really find anything online that looks like it. To make sure the island is evenly covered, I begin filling in the right side with this very fine textured plant. I'm guessing this is a Rotala Mexicana Bangladesh, but again, I'm not really sure. Next I filled in the space between these two sections with this Hygrophila rosenervic. This one came with a card, so I'm sure. To bring a bit more life to the scape, I placed this Alternanthera in 2 select places. And to finalize it all, I broke up this Cryptocoryne into 3 parts and placed it throughout the island. Now the tank could be filled up with water once again. Finally, the fish could be reintroduced. The next day, I cleaned the tank just a little bit more and added some liquid fertilizer. This will help the plants shoot new roots faster. Now I know this tank doesn't look amazing right away, but in a month or so the plants will have rooted and grown all the way to the water's surface, and at that point I will definitely post an update, and who knows, maybe I'll add a few cherry shrimp or coolie loaches. In the meantime, I want to thank you for watching and subscribing to my channel. If you're hungry for more content, I recommend you watch this video next, where you can see how I update my shrimp tank. I'll see you there.